What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be part 3 of a series, The Sneaky Ways Women Gain Leverage Over Men, especially in romantic relationships. Today, we're going to be clipping a video from Canwell titled, If She Cuts Off Sex, Walk Away. Without further ado, let them cook.
Hey, in this video, I want to talk about when a girl cuts off intimacy, why you must leave and walk away. I got an email from a viewer who was going through a situation where he was dating this girl and she had very, very high attraction for him. And she was, of course, giving him all this affection, showing a lot of respect, being very sweet, jumping into bed with him every second that she could. And then all of a sudden, she started backing away. And he sensed this. He went from a position where she was very attracted to him, and there was a lot of great chemistry. And then out of nowhere, she just pulls back.
An important thing to remember with this tactic, and yes, gentlemen, this is a tactic women employ, is that 100% of their behavior is on purpose. Some would say some of their behavior is subconscious. Fine. But 99% of it is purposeful in its inception and in its execution. She means to do this, and I'll explain why in a few.
Now, when a man is in this position where he's held in high esteem, it's very difficult when a girl pulls away from you because you feel disempowered, right? And it's a blow to the ego. If she suddenly cuts off intimacy or she suddenly pulls away from you, you think, what the hell's going on? What have I done wrong? How did I lose attraction? What mistakes did I make? And then a lot of guys will go into overdrive and they'll try to do anything they can to get the girl's affections. They'll try to change their behavior. Often they'll use mental gymnastics where they'll convince themselves that they were actually bad guys and that they were horrible to the girl and that they used her, and then they suddenly try to do the opposite, where instead of allowing the girl to come to them and give them intimacy, they try to become the romantic, nice guy, the sweet, loving boyfriend that she says she wants. Now, a lot of guys will listen to the woman when she says that, oh, you're not sweet to me, you don't care about me, you're only using me for sex. Now, when this happens, it's a mistake to fall into the trap to think that you've got to change to please her. You can't go from a position of high esteem to being disrespected and devalued. Don't do it. Whatever you do, do not chase, do not try to change to please a woman. If she pulls back, you must let her pull back.
Listening to a woman's suggestions on how to improve a relationship is almost always a death knell to that same relationship. Gentlemen, all my outdoorsmen, all my hunters and fishermen can tell you, that which you're chasing is effectively running away from you. Why would you give chase to something that is fleeing from you? What a ridiculous waste of your time, energy, and effort that would be. Be smarter than that, gentlemen, because you're better than that.
Because she will come back, I guarantee it. It's a power play. She is testing you to see how much power she has in the relationship. She's testing you to see how much power she has over you. Whatever you do, you must not submit to a woman. She wants to submit to you. Even though it's a test, she wants you to win the test. Why is she testing you? Because she wants to make sure that your frame is solid, that you're masculine, that you're confident, and that she made the right choice when she decided to see you and sleep with you. Now, if you go the opposite way and become submissive to her and try to please her and try to make it up to her and prove that you're relationship material, it's a huge mistake. You can't go from being this man who's getting all this sex and action to being some guy who is being completely disrespected and slotted into the friend zone. But it happens to a lot of guys. And so with the guy who reached out to me, he made this mistake. He had a lot of great sex for a couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden she pulls away, she starts acting cold and distant. And then he changes and tries to court this girl and tries to romance her and tries to take her out for dinner and gets frustrated when she says that, oh, she doesn't want to have sex anymore. She wants to have a relationship first and then have sex later. He's already been sleeping with this girl for weeks, and now she's saying that she doesn't want to have sex with him. It's ridiculous.
Exactly right. Guys, women have, unfortunately, they have categories for men, and they keep this secret to most men who don't understand how they work. They have the men they will never touch, the men they'll have pity sex with, the men they'll have okay sex with, the men they'll marry, for long-term resource and provisioning, and the men they are absolute freaks for, where nothing, no position is off limits. The most degrading things you could even think of, stuff you would never consider doing to a woman, they can't wait to do with that kind of man. Now, if you are the kind of guy she loves to do all the nasty, freaky things with, and you actually fall for this bullshit, like she wants a relationship now after you've been smashing, guys, please understand. She's playing a game and she's jockeying for position. You must not fold. You must not falter. You must not fail. Stay the course. Be the man you always were, because that's the guy that got her to peel her panties off in the first place. Why change? It's like that old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But if you allow her to do this to you, she will put you in the friend zone and you will lose all your power and she won't respect you anymore. So if you want to know more about generating attraction and maintaining attraction, I highly recommend you get a copy of my book, Atomic Attraction. You can pick up your copy by clicking on the link below. And don't forget I do Skype, phone and email consultations. You can book a consultation with me on my website, develofattraction.com.
Listen, shout out to Chris Canwell, guys. I'll leave a link to his channel down below, pinned to the top comment. Stop by, say hi, and tell him I sent you. But he's absolutely right. And one of the biggest issues I've seen, guys, is the fact that, especially here in the West, because dating in the third world was so much easier and so much more enjoyable. But now that I'm a civilian, I'm back home here in the States. It's just opened my eyes to just how bad we have it here. Think about it like this, guys. The reason why you must, not maybe, not probably, not if, the reason why you must abandon a woman entirely who cuts off intimacy from you in a relationship where it's already happened more than once, the reason why you must get rid of her and never talk to her again is because what she's trying to do is she's trying to make it her business and make it a habit of not holding up her end of a well-established, well-understood bargain. Gentlemen, where else in our lives? Because think about it, gentlemen. Everybody on the man side of a relationship knows what they're expected to bring. Give or take the female, they may differ slightly. But for the most part, there's a baseline of skills. There's a baseline of requirements and expectations women have of all men, especially the ones they decide to go to bed with. We get it. Our grandfathers got it. Our great-grandfathers knew it. Men in ancient Rome and ancient Greece knew it. It's not changed very much. Women do too, guys. Don't let them fool you. Don't let the propaganda steer you astray. Women know that men in relationships with them expect to get laid, and laid often. They are fully aware, guys. They're just as aware of that as they're aware of the sun rising in the east and setting in the west. It's not some big fucking secret. They know. And the reason why this is important for this conversation, guys, is because there's nowhere else in our society where someone on one side of the agreement can so flagrantly and out of nowhere disregard their portion of said agreement. What do you think happens to a mortgage company that tries to foreclose on a house where the people living in that house have never missed a payment? What do you think happens to a car dealership that sends tow trucks to the house of the person who's never missed a payment and never been late once? What do you think happens to a utility company that cuts off your phone, your water, your lights, when there is no history anywhere of a missed payment or even one that's ever been late? Nowhere else in our entire society will we ever tolerate this. Nowhere else would that behavior ever be put up with. But for some reason, 21st century Western women think they can get into a relationship with a man, have almost unlimited access to his money, his energy, his attention, and his time. And somehow, some way, he don't get to get what he most desires from that interaction. They love to talk about equality. They love to talk about fairness. But what's so fair about that? What's so fair about a man giving everything he's supposed to and not getting the one thing he should? Gentlemen, if you are unfortunately in that situation, I don't know your circumstance specifically, but if you are currently in that situation, you need to do anything and everything you can on this side of legal action. Don't do nothing stupid. Don't get arrested. But you need to do anything and everything you can on the legal side of the ledger to remove from your life a woman who is not putting out. Now, some would say, and they're going to embarrass themselves in my comment section, I can see it now, well, a woman has the right to not give her body to anyone she wants. Fair. that is legally accurate. A woman does not have to give her body to any man she chooses not to. And gentlemen, side note, do not ever take from a woman what she does not offer you freely. We are all about permission here at the Saving Men's Lives Network. However, just like she doesn't owe you her body, you don't owe her 1 cent of your money, 1 second of your time, and 1 calorie of your attention. If that's the game we're playing, you don't owe her protecting her from hurt, harm, and danger, both seen and unseen. You don't owe her the life-changing power of your problem-solving ability. You don't owe her that. And watch they squeal like stuck pigs when you say so. How dare you hold me to a standard when so many other men who came before you were willing to eat scraps off the floor? Not anymore. It's a brand new day, gentlemen. Respect yourselves. Respect your time. Respect your resources. Because trust me, these women, they understand exactly how valuable they are. They get it. It's not lost on them. It's not lost on them how valuable you and your attention are, gentlemen. Start to take your attention, both sexual and non-sexual, as seriously as they do. And the way you'll behave when you do will be unexpectedly very attractive to the opposite sex. You watch. Start treating yourself like a man who needs to be respected at all times. And watch how their behavior changes to accommodate that in your favor. That's all I got for today, fellas. It's my time. Like the video? Comment down below. Share with a friend and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Never let your brother suffer in silence when the truth can set him free. Networkers, we working. Until next time.